What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. We have some new rumors about Spider-Man Brand New Day we need to go over today because one talks about the post-credit scene and what it could be and how it could connect to Avengers Doomsday. The other talks about a cameo coming for Avengers Doomsday, which does make sense, and it also ties in the events from the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four into what is happening with Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then ties those events into Avengers Doomsday. They make a lot of sense. So, a lot to dive into. Let's get into it, and if you're new to the channel and you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel videos. So the reason I call this a rumor, not an actual report, is it's coming from a Discord leak. Apparently somebody's been in a Discord server recently leaking a lot about Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day. So take it with a grain of salt, but we've had things like this happen before come true. People are on the set and they figure out things and they go online and leak them anonymously because they obviously don't want to lose their jobs, which makes total sense, but they like to leak things for whatever reason they like, probably the same reason we like to talk about the leaks. But the report says in a Discord leak for Spider-Man Brand New Day, it reveals a major detail about the end or post-credit scene of the movie. According to the leak, the post-credit scene is expected to show a planet appearing in the New York skyline, which then connects to the invasion by another Earth involving the heroes still on Earth in Avengers Doomsday. Now, this is very interesting because we have actually heard in some leaks from some reliable insiders in the past that there are going to be at least two teams in Avengers Doomsday. There's going to be a team that goes to the X-Men universe and goes to Loki and goes and fights Doom, but there's going to be a team that stays behind on our Earth, 616, that fights an invasion. So when I hear this, I kind of think this perhaps isn't the X-Men universe, but could be another universe that might be attacking ours, and I'll explain why I think this. One, we've actually heard multiple reports recently about not just one Earth on a collision course with ours, but there are actually many Earths on a collision course with ours. And this could be due to really just a lot of different universes being affected by people from our universe. For example, the X-Men universe, we know it has Monica Rambeau in it. That's why it's being drawn to our universe. The Venom universe with Tom Hardy could be drawn to our universe because a piece of that symbiote has been left in our universe. And not even to mention the stuff that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home. There's a lot of stuff that happened there. So it would make sense that a lot of different planets are kind of being drawn to our universe. And in the comics, the only way to survive an incursion is to literally destroy the other planet. So perhaps whatever planet is heading towards us, they know that and they're coming to destroy our planet, to kill our heroes. A part of me, actually all of me, really wants to believe that that universe would be the 838 universe, the one with the Illuminati that the Scarlet Witch killed, and now they're super pissed at our universe. So when they're coming into a collision course with us, they decide we're just going to kill them. We're going to kill the universe. Ours is going to live, and boom, that's it. I'd like to think that, and I'd like to think there's a superior Iron Man or somebody like that in that universe that has a big vendetta against the Scarlet Witch from our universe. Whether or not she's going to appear, we'll have to wait and see, but this does make sense. And another invasion could be Doombots, because we've recently heard that Dr. Doom is going to control Sentinels and other robots with magic, with runes. So this could be kind of Doom's attack on this universe to maybe try to get rid of the heroes as he goes to Loki. We'll have to wait and see on this, but it does make sense for another universe to appear in the post-credit scene because that obviously sets up Avengers Doomsday in a very direct way. It also does confirm, if this does end up being true, of course, that Spider-Man is indeed going to be in Avengers Doomsday. For some reason, Marvel's been keeping this kind of a secret, but we've heard rumblings and reports that Tom Holland is going to be in the movie. We've heard that a stunt double has been on set. We've heard that he's been there to, try on suits and do certain things. It just seems like a waste too if he wasn't going to be in Avengers Doomsday. And here's another thing to also know, because a lot of people have been saying, well, I don't think this is real because Spider-Man Brand New Day is still filming right now. The filming's not done. Yes, but the post-credit scene for Spider-Man Brand New Day most likely is not going to be shot by Destin Daniel Cretton, and it's not going to be shot on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day. The reason I say that is because the post-credit scene for the Thunderbolts was shot and directed by the Russo brothers. The post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four was shot and directed by the Russo brothers. They already confirmed this. Both directors of the other movies have confirmed this. The Russo brothers did that. So clearly, The Russo brothers have their grand idea of how the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man Brand New Day connect to Avengers Doomsday. In fact, we're all thinking that the shots that we got in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, in the Fantastic Four, and probably Spider-Man Brand New Day are actually going to be actual scenes from Avengers Doomsday. So they most likely shot the post-credit scene for Spider-Man Brand New Day already on the set of Avengers Doomsday, because we know they've wrapped filming for Avengers Doomsday. Now, of course, we know they're going to come back and shoot some more, but I imagine the Russo brothers, knowing what movies were coming before Avengers Doomsday, already had in mind what the post-credit scenes were going to be, and they already knew how they were going to connect everything. This makes perfect sense. Show another planet showing up in the skyline of New York City. That way we know. One, Spider-Man will be in Avengers Doomsday, because otherwise why show that in a post-credit scene, and why show Spider-Man there as well? But two, yeah, it's all happening. The incursions are happening, and we're going to deal with that in Avengers Doomsday. So I think this makes perfect sense, and I think it makes sense that it's already been shot. So yes, somebody could know what it is already. Now, as I mentioned, there's another part to this report. It states also, Brand New Day will show Sam Wilson, who of course right now is our Captain America, attempting to recruit Spider-Man for his Avengers team, but Spider-Man will turn him down. This is a very interesting concept, because keep in mind, we already know that Yelena Belova, according to Daniel RBK, she's going to appear in the film as well, and other insiders have stated this as well. So it seems like Yelena might be showing up to recruit Spider-Man for her Avengers team, which does make sense, and then Sam could also show up to recruit Spider-Man for his Avengers team. And if this is the case, I think that actually tells us that there might be a little bit more conflict between the two Avengers teams than we thought. We have the new Avengers with a Z, or the Thunderbolts, and then Sam Wilson's Avengers team, which consists of new Avengers, but also some OG Avengers. Like, we assume the Hulk is eventually going to be on the team after he goes Savage in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but then we have like Captain Marvel, and we know they have Shang-Chi and Wong, and I'm not sure if Doctor Strange is really going to be a part of one of these teams. I think he's going to honestly be with Doom, as you've probably heard me say before. So it looks like the conflict is going to continue, the conflict from the ending or the post-credit scene for the Thunderbolts, and that's going to escalate even more. Now, Spider-Man not choosing a team actually makes a lot of sense, and we've heard way before that Spider-Man is actually going to be pretty reluctant to join the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday, and this kind of goes along with what we've heard. He doesn't want to join an Avengers team. He wants to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. His life has already been pretty messed up after Spider-Man No Way Home, losing the love of his life, losing his best friend, everybody forgetting about him, losing Aunt May. It makes sense that he wouldn't really want to get involved with this stuff. He just wants to be the friendly and grounded neighborhood Spider-Man. So Cap showing up to recruit Spider-Man. I say Spider-Man specifically because nobody's going to know who Peter Parker is. I think the spell probably gets erased after Secret Wars, after we get into the new universe. But for now, they're recruiting specifically Spider-Man, or I should say trying to, because it doesn't sound like he's going to join a team. Now, they say for the second post-credit scene, the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday is going to be featured. Now, this says likely be featured, so it's not like an actual report here. It's more like an educated wish. I don't actually think this is going to be the case. The reason I say that is because we've recently heard from Daniel RBK that the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday is going to be attached to the Avatar Fire and Ash showing. It's going to show in theaters right before the movie starts, which means they're going to put it online as well. So to have that be one of the post-credit scenes for Spider-Man Brand New Day, months after its release, like a handful of months after its release, I don't think that makes the most sense as far as like getting the most out of that post-credit scene. I would probably say it's maybe a tease for the Venom symbiote, or just a funny post-credit scene, or it would connect to Avengers Doomsday, just another post-credit scene connecting to it. Again, I'd really like a scene where you kind of just see a green cloak in the background and Tom Holland just says, Mr. Stark. Like, that would be really cool. That's something I think we should really get, but I don't think it's going to be the trailer. However, Captain America showing up, Sam Wilson's Captain America showing up at some point in time in the movie, or maybe even in the second post-credit scene. Maybe that's what it could be. That would make sense. And another Earth appearing in the skyline, those make perfect sense, and I kind of hope that's actually what happens. Again, it's a rumor, take it with a grain of salt, but they do make sense. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel videos, especially Spider-Man videos. Don't forget to like this video, and you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.